Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the next part of the lesson, that is the king's choice. Last time we had seen about how the king thanked to camel for bringing him and to save his life and bringing him to the court, and why the animals were surprised to see the king is helping him, welcoming him in his court, and also assuring to the camel for giving the protection to him. Page number 13. Page number 13. The lion's courtiers were shocked. The lion's courtiers were shocked. Why they shocked? Why the courtiers became shocked? Last time we had seen the king lion, the lion king thanked to the camel for saving his life, and also the king is welcoming to the camel in his court and requesting him to live here as long as you like. With these words, what happened? The king's courtiers became shocked. Why they became shocked? Because the plan is not going to be performed here. The plan is not going to be implementing here. What was the plan? The plan is the dinner of camel's meat, which is not happening in the court. That is why they became shocked. Had they not risked their lives so that he could try camel meat, and the king wanted to let the camel live? They became shocked. They were shocked totally. All the courtiers were shocked, and had they not risked their lives so that he could try camel meat. So he could not try to camel's meat, because if they could try to meet the camel, it would be a risk for their lives, and they thought altogether, and the king wanted to let the camel and live. And once what happened, the king don't want to kill him, the king don't want the meat of the camel. Already the king is wanted to leave the camel in his court. The courtiers were not pleased with his decision. They were not happy. Really, they were not happy, and they were not, what you can say, pleased to the decision of the king, which is taken in the favor of the camel. Yet they could not do anything. They were not happy, and they could not do anything against the camel, against the king. Now the lion's paws were so badly burnt that he could not go hunting, but that did not keep him from growing very hungry indeed. Yes, we know that already the king the paws of the king had been burnt, and he could not go outside, he could not go for hunting, and that is why, but he did not keep him from growing very hungry indeed, because when the king is hungry, he wanted to offer the food. That is why fox, leopard, vulture, he shouted, "Don't you see that I am ill and hungry? Go and get me some food." Who shouted? The king shouted over the courtiers, which was not happened before. It was the first time the king shouted over the courtiers. Don't you know I am hungry? Don't you know I am injured? My paws had, what you can say, burnt. I could not go for hunting, and bring me some food, because I am hungry now. Don't you see that I am ill and hungry? Go and get me some food. The courtiers had to obey the king. Yes, what was the word? The words of the kings are the orders for the courtiers. So out they went outside, but they did not go far. They sat down in safe place and discussed what they could do. Yes, the plan. What was the plan drawn by the king with the courtiers? That plan is not going to be implemented. And second thing, that the king was shouting to the courtiers because he was ill and he could not go outside for the hunting. He wanted to food, he wanted to eat the food. That's why he shouted the courtiers, go outside, don't issue, I'm the ill and I'm hungry, I want food, and go outside and bring some food for me. With these words, what happened? The courtiers became shocked. They went outside, but they could not go far and wide. They sat at the same place and started to think what to do now. I know, said the fox. After a while, we shall make the camel ask to be eaten. I know, said the fox. After a while, we shall make the camel ask to be eaten. Who said? The fox said, we shall make the camel ask to be eaten. We should ask the camel to eat. Who is saying here? The fox is saying. He told the others of his plan. They all agreed. So back they went to the king. We should not go outside. We should not go far and wide in search of the food. We should go back and ask the camel to eat him. And they planned. Again they go back. They went back to the king, and what would happen? See here. Without food, they went to the king. He told the others of his plan. They all agreed. So back they went to the king. First, the vulture stepped forward. First time in the court, the vulture stepped forward, Your Majesty. He said, bowing low, we have found no food, but we cannot let Your Majesty suffer. I am a poor creature. Eat me. Eat me. This is the plan drawn by the courtiers at the same place and came back to the king. And first time vulture came forward and requested to the king, we are not able to bring food for you, so I am, what we can say, poor creature, you can eat me. The fox pushed the vulture aside. When the fox was requesting to the king, that time the fox came forward and pushed him aside. I have more meat on me. He cried, eat me, Your Majesty. When the vulture was requesting to the king to eat himself, that time fox came forward and pushed him aside, and I have more meat in my body. You can meet me, Your Majesty. Now the leopard rushed forward. I am not much good, he cried, but I could make a meal for the king. Now finally what happened? The leopard rushed to the forward. I am not much good, he cried, but I could make a meal for the king. But I can, what you can say, I can stand in front of you to request the king to eat me. The camel listened to all these offers. He must do as much, he thought, before doing something. Before go to do something, he started to think, because one by one all the courtiers have offering themselves to eat themselves. Your Majesty, he said, I too am willing to give my life for you. Please eat me instead of these old friends of yours who will be more useful than I am. Your Majesty, he said. Who said? The camel said. He said, I too am willing to give my life for you. Because all the courtiers were giving their lives for the king, because they could not find anything, or even they planned something else, because they wanted to make the camel eat himself. I am willing to give my life for you. Please eat me instead of these old friends of yours who will be more useful than I am. Finally, the camel also came forward and requested to the king to eat himself, because the camel don't want to eat the old friends of the king. Thank you. Have a nice day. Now you can take the homework. What was the plan of court courtiers. Second, why camel said to eat himself instead of old friends. First question, what was the plan of courtiers? Second, why camel said to eat himself instead of old friends? Thank you. Have a nice day.